Okay, welcome everyone to the March edition of LoopBack Maintainers Call. Okay, so Diana had something to share. Let's get started with that.
Okay. Yeah. So as Miroslav mentioned, so I'm wondering if how we can set up a more open nomination process to nominate the potential maintainers. Because I think in the past, we have a box notes among ourselves, and then we will vote someone nominate and we vote. As we are having more community maintainers, I think it's a good step to move it forward so that the rest of the community maintainers can take part in it and also can nominate others as well. So that's why I like bring up this topic and see any suggestions and how we can do it, or yeah.
So I think it's good to put this into a wider perspective that we would like to move towards open governance for LoopBack to make everybody more involved and have pretty much the same rights as project participants. And that includes that if you are a maintainer, then you should have the word in saying who should be the new maintainer invited and who maybe should not be, or who is not ready yet to be invited. So I think it's great to improve our process and open it up, as Diana mentioned. From my experience, as I was reading about this in the past, I think it's important to keep the nomination process closed only to maintainers. And the reason being, if let's say I nominate somebody to be a maintainer, and then we discuss it together and decide that person is not ready to be given commit rights, then it could hurt their feelings. Like first it looks like, yeah, I will be a maintainer, and then no, I've been rejected. So I think it's better to keep it just among ourselves, and only once they are accepted, and only then make it public. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think that's probably true. I mean, for the nomination process, we can make it transparent to all the LoopBack contributors and the users. But for the real, channel, then we probably should have some private conversation within the existing maintainers first.
Yes.
And we have that, voting process being carried on privately. Then once we have positive response as a team, then we can reach out to that person.
Yep. And I guess the question is, how do we want to organize it technically? Whether we will keep the discussion in a Slack chat thread.
I don't feel this will happen so frequently. So like process-wise, I would be, satisfactory if we can just have a very lightweight approach. But we would like to document that and make it clear to all the potential maintainers so that they can see a path to come on board. But for nomination, I would be good if one of the existing maintainer just mentioned that on the maintainers channel on LoopBack.io. Then we can have a poll vote just directly on there. We don't have to be so formal, because really it's a community effort. As long as we have consensus being built by the team, then it should be good.
The thing that I found useful in the past was that we had a sort of a template to fill in. So we were saying, okay, this is the GitHub handle, here are the contributions, so that it's easier for others to review the nomination. Because if I just say, hey, I'm nominating Yapa to become a maintainer, then everybody has to go on GitHub and find what he was working on, or maybe try to remember whatever they remember from the interactions with Yapa. And I think that could be too much work. So I think using Slack is fine as long as we have some sort of a structure or templates to fill when we want to nominate somebody.
So in that sense, do we feel we need to have like a private GitHub repo for maintainers that we can open issues and track the issues there?
That could be an option. And I was just today thinking that maybe we can use GitHub team discussions. I think that's how it's called. So basically for each GitHub team we have, there is a section on GitHub where people can discuss together, and those messages are visible only to the team.
Okay, so that works too. Like, but I think that would be a little bit better than Slack because team is more like you know conversational style and it's been persistent, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that works too. Yeah. So the purpose to have GitHub issue is you know we can put a URL and things. But discussion is very much like a GitHub, right?
Oh, this is not like a proper GitHub discussions, the feature which we enabled recently. I don't know how exactly is it called. Let me try to see if I can look it up.
Yeah, I remember one of the users actually opened a discussion by reporting a bug, and the interaction is very much like you are commenting, and yeah, it's just the icons and you know the emojis could be slightly different than a typical GitHub issue.
But this is the discussions feature. This is a public and it's open to everybody. It's like
I see.
better GitHub issues. But then if you go to settings, and then there should be like teams section. Maybe you need to go manage access first. I'm trying to look it up. Then I can share my screen to show you if it works. It's not very intuitive, I have to say. So if I look at LoopBack maintainers, yeah. Okay, let me share my screen.
And also, if we so I think that Microsoft you meant we create a new private repo and then have the team discussion, or it's just the team discussion?
That's also an
Oh,
option.
I see.
This is the discussion I meant. So it's the URL is really weird. So we might not want to use it. I don't know. It's just an option.
So if you start a new discussion, how the format looks like?
Okay. So you can write title, you can use Markdown, and you can see who can see the discussion. So we can make it private. And that's it. Okay, let's see. Yeah, and I think you should see it in your notifications that there is a new discussion.
Okay.
Here. I can copy a link and then share it in Slack. And others should be able to have access to it. But yeah, the user experience might not be the best.
Yeah, so I would imagine like if we have a private GitHub repo for the you know maintainers, pretty much like the technical steering committee or something like that. Yeah, we can talk about some like issues privately as part of the governance process.
Yep.
So that probably give us the best flexibility, I think.
Also, in the discussion can we? I don't see a way to close it. So, for example, say someone nominates a user and then say this is like yes or no, and then like that part is done, right? So, and then can we close it and then so that's like when someone else has another nomination, it's a new thread, so that we're not polluting like everything, because otherwise it will be gonna be a long list.
We can delete it. That's what I see here.
I see.
So once the nomination is accepted, we can just delete it. So yeah, there is no trace left behind of what we were discussing. It might be easier for people to present dissenting opinions if they know the opinions will be then like discarded, and the person being nominated will not see it in the future when they are accepted. So there are pros and cons.
I see. Yeah, for me, I think either way is fine. It's not too much. Yeah, because I think for Slack, we only keep the first 10,000 messages. So if we want to keep that, and then we won't be able to. But the two solution that's been mentioned in for GitHub, I think it works too, or maybe more for the private repo because it might be easier for people to find that, and I don't know. I don't have a strong preference on that.
I think
Maybe we can.
private repo give us the best flexibility, and within that private repo, we can try to leverage either issues or discussions. It's all good.
Maybe we can ask in the maintainers channel on Slack, like what people prefer, if they have any preference, and if there isn't any clear preference, then we just picked something. I don't mind either way either. So the options are create a new private repository, and there we can use issues or discussions or even pull requests, or we can use the team discussions. I send the link to the chat here, or we can use Slack only. Are those the options we have?
I think so.
Okay.
Miroslav, would you be sending that out, or I?
Oh yeah, sure, I can do it. So I will just put down notes. Okay, and do we have a place where we can document this nomination process?
I checked that a few days ago. We do have a maintainer.md file somewhere.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
that would work.
No, not really. Because I remember I have a documentation to say, like, as a maintainer, what
Yeah, there is
what rights do you have, and like what
in LoopBack next there is a file called maintainers.md in the root level.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm looking at it. It seems like it's not that one. Oh, this one. Oh, okay. I saw this one. I share it in the chat.
Okay, that's a different one.
Yeah. Is it maintaining.md? Why do I want to be a maintainer? What is the responsibility of maintainers? Maybe it fits
Okay.
what is the the process?
Yeah, I think we should have a clear definition of what the maintainers can do, and also maybe what's expected of them.
Yeah, and that's described in the maintaining.md file.
Including what they can do?
Yeah, they have what the rights they have and what are their responsibilities.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Okay, yep, so I'll take care of this. I'll open up a request to one of those files and send a link to Slack so that we can discuss this together with other maintainers. I think I'm good there.
Thanks.
Is there anything else you would like to discuss?
Anyone?
Not from me. I'm good.
I'm good here.
And from me, yeah.
I'm fine
So,
too.
okay. So that's it for today.
Thank you all for
Alright.
coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Everyone, bye.
See you
Take
later.
care.
Goodbye.